Welcome to our first show at the Village Tavern and Trattoria, 424 South Main Street, Pittsburgh, PA, 15220. It's in the West End. You can walk past the camera anytime because these people are thirsty and we don't want them to fall asleep. Thanks to everybody that watches us on Verizon 32 in the greater Pittsburgh area, from Nemacolin all the way up to Cranberry, Wexford, City of Pittsburgh, and every community basically in our area. Now, you have to move to Bethel Park to watch us on Comcast. It's Comcast 7. And that's how Comcast does it, so that's how we go. Thank you for all the likes on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. Jim Auger, we didn't hit a new high, but we're at 4,368, so we're coming back. For all of you Facebook experts, you may have noticed if you have a fan page, well, they're deactivating some people on Facebook, so you lose a like. So I'm happy we only lost 81 likes out of 4,400, so others have lost more. So no cheating on the likes. If you like my page, Sarah will tell you I'll like her page. And we already have. Smoking Jim's still trying to figure it out. Send him a link. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. I got Smoking Jim Frazier here. We have a co-host that's on us with Tuesday night when there's 4 of us knuckleheads talking sports live on Verizon 32 at 7 p.m. every Tuesday. Zach Brenner. He'll be on later. If you notice, he's wearing one of our nice red winter hats. They're available for, I can't mention on public access TV, but if anybody knows what a dozen donuts are, that's what you can buy a hat for. Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And if you want the green, you got to see
Give that back. Thank
Levine.
You.
Hey, I want to welcome everybody out to our Pittsburgh Sportsline March Madness show. Big hand for Robert Morris. My 2 favorite teams are Arizona because of Coach Sean Miller, former Pitt and Blackhawk, great, and they're also their best players, T.J. McConnell from Chartiers Valley. Also Kentucky, where their coach is John Calipari. He's from Moon Township. And everybody knows Western Pennsylvania has some of the best players and teams of all time. There hasn't been a Super Bowl without at least one player from the Big 33 game. We've had great players like Johnny Unitas, Joe Namath, Joe Montana, Jim Kelly, Dan Marino. They're all from here. Mario Lemieux, greatest hockey player of all time. Roberto Clemente, one of the great baseball players of all time. Mean Joe Green, one of the great all-time great football players of all time. But I must say, right now we got Sidney Crosby, the best hockey player around. The Pittsburgh Pirates got Andrew McCutchen, the best baseball player around. And I have to say, we got 5 World Series, 3 Stanley Cups, 6 Super Bowl championships, and no Spygate and no Deflategate. But the greatest player of all time is not Mario, it's not Roberto, and it's not even Mean Joe Green. The greatest football player or greatest player I ever seen is Big Ben Roethlisberger. Listen, Big Ben got more Super Bowls wins than Peyton Manning, Warren Moon, Jim Kelly, all those guys combined. Last year, Big Ben led the NFL with 4,952 yards. He has over 40,000 career yards. Big Ben right now has a $100 million contract. Big Ben is the greatest of all time. Big Ben's play is going to lead the way to another Stairway to 7.
Thanks, Smoking Jim. I appreciate it. You sort of threw me off with the March Madness, and what we're doing tonight is a special show. So, yeah, you must have been reading the paper. But first of all, I want to thank the Village Tavern and Trattoria for having us here. We did a combination thanks to Jessica Lee for partnering up with us tonight. This is our first jazz and sports show where we both did 2 separate shows. And it's nice that you all saw my event pages when I posted there, so thanks for responding, and you actually showed up. So I'm going to have to check out some of those other people because I know who they are. So, and it's great to have my Keystone Oak alumni there. It's always a pleasure. KO's in the house. That doesn't happen much. I grew up about 7 minutes away on Park Edge Road here. We used to go down to the West End Library smoking gym. That's where I got some of this knowledge that you see here.
I was homeschooled.
No, he's got 18 degrees from Cal U and he forgot to go to school, so I don't know how that works out. But anyhow, I'm not a bracketology guy, and I just picked Kentucky to win. I'm not going on the Brenner bracketology stuff. He can talk about it later. I might as well just lit my money on fire and burn it because I don't really care about all the brackets. I like a school like RMU, Robert Morris, Bobby Moe got in, but playing Duke, that's the bad draw is what you call it. Congratulations to the Pitt women's basketball team. They're in the big tournament. That's always good. And it's a shame with Pitt's up and down year. But I do want to talk a little bit about the Penguins. They revamped their team. They got a new coach. They've led the league in injuries again. The top scorers on our team aren't scoring goals. So I'm hoping they find the scoring touch in the playoffs. And I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'm about positivity. I believe they can win the Stanley Cup this year, just with the talent that they have when they're all healthy. So stay tuned for that. And the Pirate season's coming up. I'm optimistic about them having another winning year. And we'll go from there. We're going to have a lot of great guests up here, so we're just going to move right into that right now. This next gentleman I'm bringing up is a boxing expert. He actually was a boxer. He's a referee. He can build rings, you name it. But he has to watch a TV show in a little bit. So he had told me that beforehand. I didn't think we'd be running late. And I'm not going to argue with this gentleman when you see that he comes up. Rick Steigerwald, come on up. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
Rick Steigerwald.
What do you do?
I'm just getting ready to retire. I'm a steam
When are you
fitter.
retiring? I want to know.
I'm not sure. I put the paperwork in as soon as
Man,
everything's done.
I was on the pension
in the next couple
committee.
weeks.
Okay, we had dates, all right?
Yep.
That's when you're gone, all right?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a couple other things to come in before I.
All right.
But the paperwork's in.
Okay,
I'm gonna say by April, my daughter's birthday, April 6th.
okay.
That should do
I
it.
knew you had a plan.
My God, getting the first degree on my date.
Well, I'm a stickler with it because you told me you got to watch a show. Tell us the
I know.
name of that show.
Scandal.
Okay, that's enough. Now tell us about what you do in boxing, because you had some great stories and you're a referee. We don't want to hear the boxing stories back in the day, but where have you refereed recently? That's what I'm getting at. And there was a big fight that you were involved with, so I'd like to know about that.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
Sammy Vasquez fight, yeah. And actually, they used, I didn't get the main event that time, but for
I just
reasons...
wanted to find out about politics and refereeing.
For reasons unknown, but the fight I did, it always ends up this way, you know? I ended up with a great fight, and if you remember, the guy knocked the guy down from Nicaragua 5 times, but the third time, he jumped over top of him as he went down. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
And the shot that Sean took
Yeah.
of my face, when I seen him going over, and I put my hand, I didn't think his feet were going to make it over top of him, and I had to put my hand on him and help him over to make sure he didn't kick him, on the way down.
Safety
Could you
first.
imagine that? Now what do? He knocks him out with his foot.
What does the rule book say on
Nothing.
Nothing in the rule book?
All I know is if your feet touch the ground,
What
if anything other than your feet touch the ground, you're knocked down.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so
You're our expert. I'm asking
so many
you.
things have happened in that ring over the years. Cups falling out. I mean, mouthpieces. Back in the day, it was when they first came out with the hard lenses.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to wear them. And I seen a kid get hit so hard that they both popped out. It looked like a cartoon.
Wow.
Did
And
you
I
have to
see it
look
was a
for
lot. Yeah, in the ring. I had to get him out of the ring, yeah.
Well, they were expensive back then.
Jimmy Gruber from Carrick. I remember his first time in the ring, working a corner. And I'm a steam fitter with him, I've known him all my life, What's he do his first time in there? Right as the bell's getting ready to ring, he kicks the bucket over of ice and water all over the ring. So that was his first time in the ring. And I said, who didn't know you wasn't going to do that?
I'm sure he didn't say it that way, but I understand.
Yeah.
Well, what else do you want to talk about here?
Well, pretty much you talked about that fight. You know, I mean, Sammy Vasquez kid, I said it, I work out early in the morning, and I was on the elliptical, and I was watching the Armed Forces channel about 4 or 5 years ago at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And all of a sudden, from Menneson, PA, Sammy Vasquez, he fought for the Army.
Right.
I watched that kid fight there, and I said to myself, and I had refereed him here. I didn't know he went to the Army.
amateurs.
In the amateurs. And I said, this kid's going somewhere. He left-handed, moves like a cat. You know, you never, almost like Paul Spadafore, you never know what angle he's going to throw from, you know. And other than a few amateur mistakes that ended up, he uses them today. The walking with the, being a lefty, he'll throw the left and walk forward with the left foot.
But doesn't he hold those hands pretty low?
He does. But a lot of guys get away with that today. You'll notice they get away with it. I mean, that all come from, you know, like Mayweather, you know, and guys before him.
They're emulating him.
They're emulating him, you know, and not many people can fight like Mayweather, you know.
Well, sure.
So,
but he's making all the money, so they figure they might as well copy that.
Yeah.
Any other fighters that you want to talk about that you've seen, lady?
Well, I just think that Donnybrook, we were at that Donnybrook the other night, in which you guys did a great job on announcing, you know.
Well, no, he did a great job. He was with WPXI. He cut me, threw me to the curb. He told me, wear a suit. Here's what he does to me. He goes, Al, if you wear a suit, you're the man. I said, I already know that. So I wear a suit. I come in 4 hours early. My friend isn't there. They go,
your friend?
Your friend?
My ex-friend.
Okay.
Smoking Jim Frazier, partner on Pittsburgh Sports Line, brother from another mother. All those things I deny. I go in there, and a nice young lady comes up to me because nobody knew what I was supposed to do. Interview VIPs. He goes, you're the man.
Yeah.
I'll see you there. I go, Smoking Jim said, I'm the man. They go, who are you? So they're looking around for somebody, and then they come back. They go, hey, talking machine. Not even Al Levine.
Right, no.
They go, would you announce the fighters going into the ring and the results? I go, I might as well do something because I can't get to the VIPs. They're up in that, you saw that secluded area there.
All you white guys look alike to me.
I don't know. My tan's faded. Come on. So anyhow, I'm there.
Hey, excuse me. Don't insult me.
Right. Hey, take care of him. This is my bodyguard. He's undefeated. If not, I got Zach Brenner back in the So anyhow, at the fights, who's there? A couple of our lady boxers that are guests on our show.
Sure.
They were there fighting, and they're fighting the Irish.
Jamie Chesney, you talking about?
No. She's an MMA. Younger. Yeah, Alexa Uslin and Jane Quinlan out of Ray Schaefer Boxing Club.
Right.
So not only do we bring referees, but we got boxers that are on our shows, the ladies. We had a bunch of them. Smoking Jim didn't say a word to me. He's sitting across there. He's in all the Bill Phillips and WPXI. He's like this, big as could be, rubbing elbows. I'm in the ring. He didn't even know me. So I go, Smoking Jim? Smoking Jim? He looks up. Oh. He doesn't even text me because he get a text-only phone. I text him, what are you doing? And that's how I get into boxing. These are true stories.
Unbelievable.
So we did see some great fights, but here's why I wanted to tell you my early story. I'm in the ring, meet the judge, or the referee. His name's Ed Griffin, nice Irish accent. And what happens later on is unbelievable in boxing. A friend of ours, Mike Manna, knocks a guy out from Ireland, knocks him out. The referee, it's this Ed Griffin.
Right.
He's from Ireland. The Irish guy goes through the ropes. Now, they say the only thing straight in boxing's the ring, but that ring didn't look that straight either.
Too.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
He counts. You can come in. We don't mind. The cameras just keep running there. And you'll be on TV. You'll be famous. So the guy counts to 8. And I swore it was 14 seconds. I watched the video, and it was about that. The kid spits his mouthpiece out. Mike Manna.
Now he's going to get more time.
Yeah, so now he had over a minute. Right. So the guy ends up winning the fight, long story short.
The Irish guy did?
Yes.
Yeah.
After you left, by the way, your seats were wonderful because I was tired of standing.
Yes.
My friend didn't take care of me with a seat.
Yes.
He's sitting there front row. They're getting him drinks, stuff to eat.
Nothing.
Hey, where's Al at?
Well, that's one of the things that need
What's
to be
going on
changed.
here?
That need to be changed in boxing, stuff like that happening. You know, Jim and I, we talked before about that. In '77, when I won the Golden Gloves here in the 139-pound class, this is how I got into refereeing. In the 139-pound class, we go out there and we fight Joe Frazier's gym at the Palestra. 20 of us went out there to fight, 19 of us lost. They railroaded us right out of the place. The only one that won out there was Jeter Parms, and they couldn't fill a spot, I guess, in their heavyweight. Their heavyweight got hurt, and they had a fill-in. Jeter got in the ring and threw 9 right hands at the guy.
And the guy, what happened?
The guy climbed out of the ring and walked away. He didn't want to fight him. So he was the only one that got. So we were going to, you know, the winners got to go to Honolulu, Hawaii. And you know, sometimes.
Why do you think they didn't want the Pittsburgh guys going there?
Sometimes, but here's the thing. Sometimes it's better, you know, when somebody thinks they're screwing you, if you take a moment and take a half a step back, just like in a fight, and see where you're at and see what's going on.
Gather your
If I
thoughts.
would have went there, the kid that didn't beat me, but they sent anyhow, ended up fighting Tommy Hearns, the Hitman Hearns, and got his butt whipped.
We wouldn't be talking to you today because
Might
you would have
not.
knocked him out. You'd have been the world champion.
Maybe. But there are some things. So I know that feeling. And when I came home, I could have went a different route to get to Honolulu. I could have went to Ohio and fought in there. But I had, you know, that was like my 50th fight, amateur fight. So I talked to my dad. I had just gotten the steam fitters, and I said, you know, he said, hey, we could get out to Ohio. I said, I'm done. When you can have guys sitting ringside, and like I know a lot of the officials that they're using today, they never strapped the glove on. They never been in a boxing gym. And how can you have somebody judging you that doesn't know what a good punch is? It don't even make sense. The numbers aren't adding up. So
hey Rick, on that, I can appreciate you saying that, and that's what made you a referee today.
Right.
And you quit in your prime, right?
Well, we were talking before, Jim, that very soon here there's going to be some movement. Right now we don't have a commissioner of boxing. He had passed away. Andy Kid DePaul, great guy.
Legend.
I've been with him for 50 years. I had been with him since I was 11 years old. He refereed me. We refereed together, and then he became my boss as a commissioner. Well, he passed away in September, and they're going to...
Who do you think's going to get it?
I'm hoping me.
I'm hoping.
There we go. On that happy note, I hope they put Rich Steigerwald in there. Then you got to come back on the show and tell us about it.
I just got a call today from the senator's office in Harrisburg, and Senator Formal's office, and they're vetting me on the 14th of April. That means I have to go out. If anybody's not familiar with that, I have to go out.
They're going to check you out. They're going to have the
Check me out.
FBI,
They couldn't
XYZ,
check-
and everything else check you out.
I thought they were my proctologist.
Not
They were
yet.
looking
That's
at me.
after you get in.
For God's sake.
Once you get in, that's what will happen.
But if
See
we
your
could-
doctor then.
If it happens, just say, for instance, God blesses me and I'm able to do that. The pride that would come with that after serving the state on the boxing commission would be, you know, I was thinking about it today when I got the call, that I'm living a dream.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not ready to retire yet as a referee, but that's part of it. But, you know, I'm 60 years old now, heading to 61, and I kind of figured, well, hey, you know, I'm not going to be able to do this forever, you know? And maybe before I'll get one more championship fight before they make the appointment.
Well, you're
you know?
1 in a million. What's the chances of somebody making it good from the north side?
He's always bringing up communities.
A million
Get out
to
of here.
one.
Don't fight.
1,000,000 to 1.
No, it is.
But all I know
is one good man.
All I know is that we whipped Gateway's butt, Perry High School, more times than you
You know
can
what?
shake
No
a stick at.
rebuttal. Rick, get out of here while you
Thank you
won.
so much. I appreciate
hope
it.
you get that appointment. Smoking Jim, I'll let you introduce the next lady.
We are so honored to have this young lady. She was a college All-American. I tell you what, she made good. She's a fitness competitor, national level. She got her own business. One of the most in-shape people you ever want to know. Please put your hands together for Sarah Wiegert.
Wernert. Sarah Wernert. He went to Gateway, and that's why we try not to have battles about community. Sarah, welcome back to our show. And not only is she in great shape, Smoking Jim, but she knows about our show and tell.
Great shape, great shape.
Here, there's one for you too.
No, it's a waste of time. He has all these godchildren and sweeties everywhere, but he doesn't tell them about fitness.
Yeah, that's okay. It's for women
Devin,
only anyway.
Do you want to get a close up there? All right.
This is
Yeah,
a
we don't have
fire-
anybody taking pictures. Bill Boyce isn't here. For some reason, Smoking Jim didn't send him the email.
That's all right. I think
Tell
we'll be
us what's
just
going
fine.
on,
So
Sarah.
I have a lot going on in my life right now. I'm actually on Fitness TV this Saturday at 9 a.m. on Fox 53.
Will you autograph this for me?
Sure, we can do that.
She's
Sure, of
famous.
course, yeah.
More good karma on Pittsburgh Sports Line. Before this, I said, hey, ma'am, you can't park in the post office. She goes, I work here. And she wasn't on our show until the next time.
Right, and I've been here. This is my third visit.
Is it?
Thank you so much for having me. Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's great to be here. So I have a lot going on. So this Saturday, 9 a.m., tune in on Fox 53 for Pittsburgh's only fitness television show.
Wow, I should have started one of those.
You should have, but I'm sure we can get you in somehow. We can incorporate
Yeah,
it.
like
Let's talk
Smoking
next
Jim.
time.
Don't disappoint me
You
like
know,
that. I think the best of you. Tell me more. I'll tune in. Can I
Tune in.
DVR that?
You can.
Okay, I'll
Please
DVR
do, because
it.
we get credit for DVRs
Do
too.
you?
Yes. And my segment is about my fit camps, and I run a fit camp, and what that is a 2-hour class for women that I run every 6 weeks, and it's more than just a class; it's a whole healthy environment where I have women of all fitness levels coming in, and I teach them different kinds of exercises that they may not know, and that they can incorporate into their routine, and
Sure. To
and
get in
also and it's also just a healthy, positive environment of all women, because it's hard to do this every day, and women aren't always nice to other women, so we are very nice, and it's a
Okay.
great, wonderful environment. So
Well, give
and my
us a
next
few
one,
tips. I need a few tips.
Okay.
Because people are always looking for some information.
Okay.
And I know to stay in the shape like you are, you've told me different things. And,
Right.
women suffer a lot more hormonal issues than we do, Smoking Jim. Like you're suffering menopause at this stage. Okay? So there's other things. Tell us give me 3 tips
Okay.
that would be your top 3 tips for somebody coming in, I want to get in shape.
Top 3 tips. Tip number 1, log your food. Knowledge is power. So if you know the calories that you're consuming, that's your first step.
Tell them
in
about the
correcting them.
carbs while you're on that.
Carbs, there's a healthy balance between
Okay.
carbs. Carbs are energy, but if you do not use them as fuel, you'll store them as fat.
So you taught me last time.
Did I?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
great.
why I
So
brought that.
We'll say that's tip number 1.
Okay.
Tip number 2 is make exercise part of your daily routine. Make sure you do something every day. Be
What
active.
would you recommend for somebody that's out of shape, hasn't really done anything, and they go, I want to do it, but I don't want to be embarrassed when I work out?
Taking a walk's free.
Okay.
Doing something in your home. There's plenty of things on YouTube or online that you can do that's free.
Sure.
Join a gym, get a trainer.
What
just
about
make
you?
a step.
Are
Get
you
me.
training
Find-
people? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you only do it once in a while.
Well,
You're too busy.
I actually have clients, and that's why I do this, because I just have so many irons in the fire that I wanted to reach as many women as possible. So my next one is April 18th. So there's still time to sign up.
Hold on, I need a 3rd tip.
And a 3rd tip would be to make sure that you drink plenty of water.
Okay.
It is very important to stay hydrated, and it also will fill you up so that you're not looking to snack on, junk or bad food as well.
Sure.
So
now
stay
we'll
hydrated.
go full bore on
Okay.
this. Please tell me about your camp. You got a special price for everybody
I
here
do.
tonight.
It used to be $50 for the camp, which is 2 hours, and everyone gets a goodie bag with a hot yoga pass and supplements and protein, and actually a 2-week pass to Fitness Fanatics. But now I've slashed the price
Any of those
to
pink
25.
tank top shirts that you gave me last time
The
that I
price
couldn't
is
wear?
in half for 25.
She did give me
so
one.
We're working on getting new shirts for next time,
Thank
but
you.
no shirts with this one. But it's only $25 for 2 hours, and it's a great workout. You meet positive people. It's a
Now-
really good time.
Hold it, but we need some information. How do they even subscribe to this? Who do they call? What number do they call?
They
Is
can-
there a website?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
I have all of that. You can go on my website, which is just my name, Sarah
Tell him your
Warner.
name because there's a guy next to me. Somehow, never
Screwed
mind.
up. How did he do that?
Beautiful women
Warner.
make me
He like
nervous.
loves me, but yet Sarah
Hold it.
Warner.
Who's the lady right across from you right there? What's her name there,
Well, I'm the
Smoking Jim?
president of her fan club, so Jessica.
Okay, no last name. All right. So Sarah Werner.
Very good. Thank you.
Now
for
you
being right
spell
now.
it Wernert.
Correct.
Okay.
You got it.
That's the first step.
Yes. Sarah
Phone
Warner.
number.
412-559-6090.
Website.
My name,
I know, but-
SarahWarner.com.
Okay, just checking.
Yep, and
Do
you
you
can-
have Facebook?
You can register right on the website.
I
There's
saw
a
it.
link to PayPal that'll take you right in, pay $25, and you reserve your spot because I always pretty much sell out every camp.
And how many
yeah.
people go to the camp?
About between 20 and 30 women I have. I cut it off around there just because I want to give individual attention, and there's only so much room in the space that I
Well,
rent.
you're such a nice person and helping everybody out.
I try, I really do. I'm really passionate about this. Like, as you know, I am a full-time mail carrier.
Oh, really? I thought I was making that up.
You know.
Okay.
But I'm really passionate about this because we need to help other women in this fitness journey because it isn't easy to do every day.
But what I always say is you got an advantage over the rest of your clients. You're walking 5
Absolutely
to 10
not.
miles
Absolutely
a day.
not.
And you're
Because
carrying 50 pounds.
My body is adjusted to that. So not only do I have to do that daily, but I have to work out on top of that because I've been carrying for 10 years. So that's just part of my maintenance. So I have to go to the gym before and after work
You're
as well.
kidding.
No,
You've
that's
expanded
my
your
routine.
program.
I have.
Oh, man, you're awesome.
I try.
Anything else? Because we know you got to get out because
Yeah, I
you're actually
appreciate it.
past your bedtime.
It's way past
It's
my
not
bedtime.
embarrassing, but we
It is
understand. No, it isn't.
embarrassing. I'm really in bed at like 8:30 on Thursday.
Don't tell everybody. This will be on YouTube forever.
It's the truth.
She doesn't mean it.
It's the truth. I
Okay.
hate to lie. But that's it. So tune in on Saturday, 9 a.m., Fox 53.
I got
You'll
it.
see the fitness show that highlights my camp. And then my next camp's April 18th. You should sign up soon because I will sell out.
That's why we
Hopefully.
told them. We know
Okay.
what to do. Wernert.
Yeah. Thank
Sarah,
you so much for getting
it's
it
a
right.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Stacy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's because of Jessica Lee that you're here. Somehow, Jessica Lee told her that I'm a good guy to talk to, and we ended up talking for an hour on the phone. Didn't do any business, didn't think we'd talk again. And out of the blue, she called up again.
Yep. You did
Yeah.
most of the talking.
I guess I picked on Smoking Jim a little too much today. But I can take it. That was like nothing. At KO, we got that type of conversation all the time. So what do we decide? That you'd be a guest on our show?
Correct. I'm here.
Okay, I normally have 3 basic questions for people who've never been on our show.
Okay.
The first one you passed, what's your name?
Stacy Allen.
Okay. Now the second one is, do you have a favorite sport?
Football.
Are you sure? 'Cause
I'm,
you were
I'm
grimacing
sure.
there.
Football.
Okay.
The only one.
Now, do you have a favorite team?
Steelers.
Of course. Do you watch the Steelers at all?
Yes, I do.
Every once in a while?
Every once in a while, yeah.
Did you ever play any sports?
I play basketball
Did you? For who?
for a high school.
Which one?
Shenley High School.
Not Shenley.
Yeah,
I
Shenley.
had cousins that went to Shenley.
Yep. I couldn't dribble, but I can get the ball in the hoop.
So you're a good shooter.
I'm a good shooter.
What position did you play? Obviously not guard.
No.
Power forward, I'll guess.
Correct.
Good guess. Well, my dad was a referee, so I do have some basketball background.
Okay.
Well, enough sports. You got some business that you'd like to talk about, and I like shameless promotions, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Could we talk about your business that you're trying out right now?
Sure. Well, my name is Stacy Allen. I have, are you overworked, have nothing to do? Well, Jazz Bean is just for you. It's an entertainment company. We have live music each and every Saturday, conveniently located in the Strip District, 2533 Penn Avenue. Sign out front says Grown and Sexy. But when you come inside, that's where Jazz Bean is located. So,
Can you give him that address again? He has trouble with Google. He drove by this place 3 times, even though it's 424 South Main Street, Pittsburgh 15220.
it's 2533 Penn Avenue in the Strip District.
And say what it's slow, because I'm a fast
Okay.
talker. Say what event it
The
is.
sign outside says Grown and Sexy. It is a restaurant, full restaurant and club. You can come on in and order good food and get great music. I'm there each and every Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m.
And this is your event that you're
That's-
doing exclusive of the club.
Correct.
So this is your like private event that
My
you do.
private event. Yeah.
And I've heard of a lot of people already going there, and we're talking about maybe doing something there, Smoking Jim. So I don't know if we
Yay.
can fit that in our schedule there,
Yay.
but there might be. I don't know if you like our show though.
I love your show.
Okay, then we can do something. What do you have as show and
This
tell?
is just a couple of flyers for you guys.
Okay,
That's
I don't
all.
know, can you pull up on this? Devin's like an expert. Anybody that donated $1 for the scholarship fund, we're gonna try to get him some more education there. He's only been doing this 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get that? Okay. You know I like handing out compliments and flyers to my friend. Thank you.
Who's coming? Next week we have Eric Johnson. He's a
What's he
national
play?
guitarist.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? That's actually my new friend.
Really?
If you look at Bella Sarah, which Jessica Lee was there last week, if you notice a picture, it's Jess, Eric, and me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my new best buddy.
Yeah.
He was wearing a pirate hat, and he walked into Bella Sarah, and I didn't know who he was, never met him. I'd heard of him, and we ended up talking. We have a lot of similar things in common.
Yeah, he's really good. He's in New York right now, but
And he's
he'll
gonna
be
a
back
guest.
Saturday
Guess where he's going to be a guest come baseball season? Pittsburgh Sports
on your show. Okay.
when he's around. So that'd be great to see him there.
He's there this Saturday.
And who else has played recently? Do you want to drop some names? 'Cause
We
we're
had
all about this.
Sure, we had the Blues Orphans. We've had Kenny Blake, if you're familiar with jazz.
Yeah.
He's a good jazz person. We've had a R&B band called Tasty Flavor.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You've heard Tasty Flavor? Yeah. So we've had quite a few people
Well,
come
we'll
down
have
there.
to stay tuned. She has a Facebook page. You can check
I
that
have-
out. She's been trying to copy some good stuff off of me, and she's doing rather well.
Yep,
People are liking that.
I'm
So I said,
following you.
copy whatever you see off of me. That's the greatest compliment you can give me.
Okay.
Okay, so keep doing that.
I will.
And with your events, I see the events, you guys keep inviting me, but sometimes we have things that, I get the announce boxing with Smoking Jim and Zach Brenner.
Okay.
So instead of just, being there early, being the man.
Well,
But
we're going to be extending soon, so maybe another day you can come out.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Stacey,
We'd love to have
thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming out. It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
You did
And I
a
met
great
your
job,
niece
Stacey.
there, too. What's your name?
My name is Cassidy.
Where are you from?
I am from Indiana. I'm from a small farm town.
Can you tell us the name of that? Because this will be on YouTube. And if
It's-
you have any friends,
I do. It's in Napanee, Indiana. It's about 45 minutes from South Bend, where Notre Dame is. It's normally where that's their good mark to go from.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's good to know. And this will be out there forever.
Yeah,
You want to say
great.
hi to anybody?
Well, I would say hi, Mom, but she's here, so
You just said it. You just said it.
double whammy right there.
Sorry. And why did you come here?
Well, we drove up last night from Indiana to watch Notre Dame play for March Madness. Yeah, and actually we watched Butler too. We have family that went to both schools, and they both moved on, and so they'll play each other on Saturday.
That sounds great. Are you
Yeah.
staying?
Yep. Yeah,
So
we'll
you're
be
gonna
here.
Spend a weekend in Pittsburgh. here.
Yeah.
What did you think of our town?
Well, we drove in very close to when
so
the
you
game
didn't get to
started.
see
No, so we were here for about 5 minutes and then went to the hotel and they told us to come here for dinner and here I am.
And
Yeah.
You get to meet Jessica Lee,
Exactly.
Pittsburgh Sports Line,
It's,
and you're on TV.
I know.
What a great world.
know where to go, the strip district.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Head up
got
to
great
the-
details.
Yeah, you're getting information.
I
here
am.
that's invaluable.
It is.
Go figure. And we might as well at least do one shameless promotion. What business do you have?
Well, I am part of a large business. It's called Vima. It's a health and wellness company, and they just revamped their body line, which kind of goes in line with what you were talking about earlier. And everyone is always wanting to find something that helps them feel better, things like that. So Vima's kind of there to help you.
Spell that for my friend.
It's VEMMA. Vima.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
MMA.
That's what
We're
Yeah.
about that. So it's just a V.
Yes. And so I met someone tonight while we were eating who's in the community who does Vima right here. And so he was gracious enough to give me a can of our Bold. It's an energy drink, and it's got...
You need that now.
Yeah. He let me use it. I'm going to have to return it.
Are you borrowing it?
I can have it. So that just even got better.
That's how we are in Pittsburgh. We're friendly.
I love it. We'll be back, so get used to us.
And tell them your name again.
My name's Cassidy, and my last name's Bessler. Yeah.
Okay, Cassidy Bessler.
Yeah.
And your mom was too shy, so you
Yeah.
have a nice night with her.
Yeah.
Good luck with your stay in Pittsburgh.
Thank
and may the
you.
best team win.
We will. Thanks so much.
All right, you want to hear about my March Madness?
Well, that's why I brought you here exclusively, and then we may talk about a vacation or two you had just shortly, because, it was
Okay.
great.
Well, this was
But March Madness, what happened?
This is the greatest, and this is the appropriate day to be talking about this. It was
Exactly.
the day the tournament was starting, and
Where were you?
I was at work, and I wasn't anywhere near. Well, I think it was like 2001.
Okay.
It was a while ago.
So
but-
roughly 14 years ago.
Yeah,
You're
so-
in downtown Pittsburgh,
and
strolling.
I go to lunch, and this only worked because I was on the way back from lunch, and I was very close to where I worked. And there's two guys that I don't know. I'm behind them, and I haven't filled out I have to go back, immediately fill out the bracket. And I don't really want to do this, because
understand.
this is just like, I might as well rip up my $20 bill and throw it away. Because when it comes to college basketball, I know nothing. And there's a reason for that. I realize we have all these sports fans here. We got
Yes, we do.
people that are really into college hoops. The reason I don't know anything about college hoops is I went to Bucknell, and I know this is a shock, but they are not a basketball power. It's a small school, by which I mean I don't think they have 5 guys over 6 feet. And so, I have to do this. I have to
Sure.
go along to get along kind of thing. So I'm walking down the street, and there's
I'm
these,
following you so far. Now what happened? Come on, man.
these two guys are walking down the street in front of me, and one of them says to the other one, "What are the upsets going to be in this year's tournament?"
Wow.
And the other guy starts telling him. And he's saying this with absolute certainty in his voice. And I figure, I don't know anything.
Right.
He's got to know more than I know.
Sounded like an authority figure there.
Absolutely. And I'm so close to where can just walk in the door and fill out the bracket that I can remember them.
So you're smart enough to remember a basketball bracketology savant is saying all this.
Right.
Okay. I got you covered.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what happened?
So I go in, I fill out the brackets,
Just like he said.
just like he said. And he was right on not one, not two. He was right on all of them.
Wow.
And I win $1,800.
This is one of the greatest stories that I've heard by a guy that knows nothing about basketball.
Well, I was really happy, and then I thought, what if some mafia guy hears this and they kidnap me and make me fill out their brackets next year?
I have the answer for you. Joan has a lot of insurance on you. You don't have anything to worry about. That's the least of your worries, my friend. And you're still alive. Because that was 14 years ago.
I'm still vertical.
And I still have the insurance.
And that was Joan. I don't know. This will be on YouTube forever, so be safe, my friend.
Well, I got one story about how the world's changed, and it
Okay.
involves the Steelers, so it's kind of appropriate.
Well, we're sports, so
Yeah.
and other stuff.
Now, when I was growing up, I had a friend who I was growing up in New Jersey, and he was a big Knicks fan. And somehow he figured out, there was one of those little penny advertiser papers.
Yeah.
He went to them and said, if you give me a press pass, I'll go to the Knicks games and take pictures with you.
Spike Lee.
So they do. And, we're in high school. He's sitting on the court
Wow.
taking pictures for this little penny advertiser magazine.
Yeah.
Well, he keeps doing this. And eventually, he ended up doing magazine covers. He's done Sports Illustrated cover like
So
ever.
he became a famous photographer because of a penny ads.
But anyway, flipping back, it's the year the Steelers are playing Denver in the AFC Championship in Pittsburgh. And that was a Saturday game, I believe. And I get a phone call from him on Thursday. And he says, would you like to see the game from the field? Well, who won it, right? That's not a question. So I said, what do I got to do? He said, show up the hotel. All the press are staying there. Just show up, knock on my door, and he tells me when I got to be there. Well, I get there, and my friend was a pretty big party guy. So I knock on his door. There's like no response. Finally, I hear a little bit of movement. He opens the door. He's in his underwear. His eyes look like...
Oh, to give us a short version of this, the way you're going into detail, it's a family show here. Come on.
His eyes look like traffic lights.
Okay. He had a rough night, kids. Okay.
I said...
Don't say how he smelled or whatever else.
No, I'm not going to go that far.
Okay.
So I said, aren't we supposed to be like getting on the press bus in a couple minutes? So he said, yeah. So he, get some clothes on. And he gives me this little cardboard thing that says press. I mean, it's a little, like you could make one right now. Just get a piece of cardboard and write press on it.
Zach will show you what's on his little lanyard there. He got plenty of those.
So we go over, I get on the bus with him. I figure, like, I'm going to get busted sooner or later. Because I said, what do I got to do? He said, I got 2 cameras, just carry one up and down the field. So, and there are these Canon cameras with these enormous lenses. They're really heavy. So we get to the stadium. I think I'm not getting in the stadium. Suddenly, I'm in the stadium with all the press. We go out on the field, and I'm standing there with them. And what I didn't realize was those guys run a lot. They're just like up and down the field. You got the TV cameras. Those cables are moving. You got a heavy camera. You got to keep jumping over the cables. You know it's a bad thing if you get your feet tangled up in a network TV camera on national TV. And I'm just there, and I don't care whether it's Denver or Pittsburgh, because the killer is if somebody catches a deep pass. And I'm just there. Please don't catch this.
Well, tell me what happened, because we're going to have to cut you short on your story. But did you get hurt or anything like that? A pass come near you?
No, but I mean, could you imagine that? Could you imagine that?
I mean, you were telling me about it. I thought maybe something happened.
Today?
That you got hit in the head?
Like today, like, like you get stripped trying to get in the stadium. And in those days, you could just have a little piece of cardboard and say press, and you're on the field.
And this shows another side of a musician, insurance guy.
That's good stuff.
Bracket All-Rookie winner.
Oh, 2 seconds. I heard today that there was $9 billion bet on the tournament. There's $800 million going to the NCAA in licensing fees.
Wow.
And the players are getting how much? 0.
Wow.
They're getting an education.
They're like, it's like musicians. Everybody gets paid but the players.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm an NFL scout. I've seen most of the great football players. I've never seen anybody any better than this guy. The NFL has a Hall of Fame. The semi-pro now has a Hall of Fame. This guy ought to go in the Hall of Fame. Former great player and owner of the Beaver County Warriors. Now he's giving back to the community. Big hand for Amir Dudley.
What's up, fellas?
Why don't you say your name?
Say my name. My name is Amir Dudley.
Welcome back. And you brought, I don't know, your coach with you?
This is actually
or your energy drink man or a player?
This is Mr. Everything.
All the above.
All the above. Coach of the year, Stephen Nesmith.
Congratulations.
Stephen Nesmith. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate being here.
We appreciate it. I heard you won a championship since we last had you on our show.
Yes,
is that true?
Fifth grade.
Fifth graders.
Fifth graders. Little guys. Little guys.
And tell them what school. I was hoping to get the players here, but they're playing baseball. They're playing other sports.
Well, you know, they have schedules now, you know.
Hey, and they always got to wear uniforms. What's the story? So no players made it this time?
Unfortunately, no. I'm the assistant coach.
Okay.
So the head coach was kind of torn, because we actually coach 5th and 6th together.
Oh,
so he didn't want to have some kids come and some kids not, because we do.
Let me
teach
tell
them,
your
so-
coach that the kids will understand if the top 5 players come, because then the next guys will play even better
Correct.
to be those guys.
Correct.
So that's what we look for on Pittsburgh Sports Line.
Well, the other guys will get promoted because those top 5 guys will
kids
recruit
smoking.
the Gateway.
There you
No,
go.
they don't.
Hey.
I thought you were going to say that they move up to the next grade, but of course he lowered himself to Gateway.
Yeah, he's a hometown guy.
It's a
Hometown
shame.
guy.
Yeah, but that's getting too old. The old time, not real, working out real well. Then he asks, never mind. We're talking about you out in Rochester there, and our coach Steven there, same thing.
I'm actually in Beaver Falls.
I knew there was a difference between you two.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the difference right there.
Okay. 2 different neighborhoods.
There you go.
And what kind of teams are you coaching?
I'm actually, last year I was at the 7th and 8th grade level for midgets football.
Okay.
And what Amir was referring to, the coach of the the coach of the year award.
Okay. That's why I'm trying to tunnel down to what's going on there.
I actually received the Northeastern Coach of the Year award from National.
Northeastern?
Yeah, the Northeastern
What
region.
does it encompass?
Pennsylvania, Ohio, like West Virginia.
It made it sound like you're not even in the community anywhere or whatever else. Amir, we know you're the man.
Plug my man.
Okay.
Basically, what happened is I don't coach just in this area. I coach nationally. I coach like down in Miami. I
How
coach
did
in
you get
Dallas,
this
Texas. It's not a get this job. It's a networking type of thing. Like I put myself out there. So along with my camp.
Well, how did you get this networking job?
It was offered to me. I put myself out there. I know the game.
No, if other people want to know, it's not just you. I'm trying to say if somebody else has interest like you guys and you're passionate, look, he's an NFL scout. I'm interested in it. How would I do it?
How would you get into what I'm doing?
Yeah, or anybody.
You basically, you got to put yourself out there on social media first thing.
Oh, I'm already there, but I don't want to be a coach like you.
You don't want to be a coach like me?
Not at all.
Well, basically,
I'm a motivator.
what I do is I take the kids and I like to get them exposure. So that's my big thing is I want to take a kid that from my area who barely has seen Pittsburgh, let alone Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Last year I took a kid down to Dallas, Texas. Not only did he get to see Dallas, Texas, he won the MVP of the game.
Wow.
He had an interception, pick six.
Well, let me tell you to interrupt.
Wow.
Congratulations. I wasn't trying to bust your chops.
Oh, no, man.
I was trying to find out what we do because what you're doing is unusual. Not everybody's going to do.
If I tell you my secrets, man, then everybody's going to be trying to steal my ideas.
No. Here's the thing. If you're truly the best, it doesn't matter what secret you tell anybody because nobody's going to outwork you.
Okay.
And if you believe that, now you're suspect in my book.
Okay, well, if that's the case, I'll tell everybody this. Put the kids first in what you do. If you put the kids first
That's
and
what I'm
help the kids.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you look to help the kids first, then that'll everything else falls into
told me
place.
that before,
Yeah.
and I knew you were a friend of his.
Correct.
So we had to find out that page. you were on. Thank you.
I'm all about the guy, and I don't have any kids either. So the fact that I don't even like have a son or that or nothing that I'm
At this time.
I'm daddy, but no, I don't foresee that happening.
Well, I wasn't trying to get too personal.
Yeah, no, but it's just I'm focused. It just lets you know that I'm not playing daddy ball either. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those guys.
Okay.
Well, is Beaver Falls ever going to beat Aliquippa?
We in basketball we will.
Okay,
Tell them to see us in basketball. We'll beat them in
He's
basketball.
always bringing something positive.
Positive.
Mr. Positive.
I was gonna say we about to. I can't say nothing. Shit. We got to see how we look at camp.
Steven, you're doing great. What should we look for? How do they get a hold of you with anything? Since you're on social media, did you like Pittsburgh Sports Line?
I just liked it while I was sitting back there.
Thank you. You almost failed the
When
test.
you go home and crank that laptop on,
I will crank it up.
Is that gas
and how do you
powered?
spell your last name?
It's
I'll see if
NES.
you friended me.
NESMITH. But what we have going on, and actually in June 17th, 18th, and 19th, we'll be at Couple Stadium on East Carson Street for our 5th annual 5-Star Skills Camp. That's a 3-day camp for anybody in 1st through 8th grade. We also will have our first annual 5-Star Bowl game game. That'll be July 31st at Couple Stadium. We actually have custom jerseys for the kids. That's for 5th and 6th graders. They'll be going to the Pirate game. We'll have a media day experience. Hopefully you guys come down, interview some kids.
Whoa.
Just plugged you guys in. So we have a lot of stuff going on for the kids.
Now, we're going to get Amir to give some final thoughts on what's going on with you. You got some event coming up. I was looking for show and tell, but I don't see any on.
I didn't bring anything. We work together, so we have actually, we're going to do a fundraiser for the events that he just spoke of. We
in
have
Rochester, $10.
It's Rochester Wrestling Foundation. It's $7 if you get them from us early. So
that's why I was looking at that.
Yep. It's $7
See, I'm
from us
trying to
early.
PR you. Who's better at that than me?
You sound like a man right now.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know. You and Jim, neck and neck.
Nah, he's negative. Listen to what he said. When's Beaver Falls going to be down there?
In basketball, we're the
I
best
don't
of
care.
basketball.
It's about the kids. Take care of these kids. Be safe.
Always.
Thanks for the trip.
Thank you.
I'm glad you gave the secret sauce.
Secret sauce. Stay tuned with the kids.
Why do you have a Yankee hat here? This is pirate land.
Yeah.
We
You know
both
what?
got Yankees.
I don't look at yours. It's all black.
So here's the thing. Here's a story on that, right?
It's all black.
We make the playoffs 3 years in a row, and I will go Pirates all the way.
This is the year.
This is the year.
We'll make the wild card for the
Our
website-
3 years in a row. I'm there.
All right, get out of here. Thank you.
Great job, Amir.
Zach Brenner, what's on your mind?
Well, Al Levine, the talking machine, I noticed that neither one of you two gentlemen filled out a bracket. I already know your opinion. I already know your opinion.
Georgia State today.
Yeah, right. Georgia State. You didn't even know there was a Georgia State until 20 minutes ago when they told you that Georgia State won. So you're drinking the Kentucky Kool-Aid, Levine. We got it.
Drinking it,
We
I
got
believe
it. You think that they're going to go undefeated through a whole season? A whole season.
There's only been, what, 5 teams or 6?
5, I believe.
Okay, 5 that have done it.
I think Chip touched
Notre
on it on
Dame's
Chip's.
not doing it either.
Chip touched on it in Chip's trivia on
You know
Tuesday
what? You're
night.
drinking Chips Kool-Aid. Don't watch our Tuesday night shows on Bethel Park Live TV. Do not watch it.
Why? Why watch a show that I'm on live on Tuesday night with the 3 of us?
I can't
Why?
believe you were going to swear on air.
I didn't though. Almost doesn't count. Almost doesn't count, Devin. Not with horseshoes or hand grenades.
I can't believe.
Almost doesn't count. I did not.
Well, you know I couldn't make the show, although I did appear on it, which somehow you didn't know that.
No, because
I
you
kept it
slipped
straight.
that in there. You snuck that in there.
75 shows in a row. Now Chip and Zach want to take over Pittsburgh Sportsline on Tuesday night.
Never.
Watch that show and see who should be on.
You could never take over for the talking machine, as people allude to. Even the KO folks that Al Levine, once he blossomed out of, once he blossomed into the talking machine, he won't be quiet. So he does most of the talking on phone call conversations, as someone alluded to.
Because you can't hear.
That's okay. You keep talking anyways. One time I was up on a ladder fixing a gutter, talking to Levine with my phone in my pocket. I get back down off the ladder. Levine's still talking about whatever he was going on about. Hey, I jumped right back in like I was listening the whole time, and he didn't even skip a beat.
I don't know what to say to that, but I was right.
I stumped the talking machine. I stumped the talking machine.
You learned something because you stepped right in.
I did.
And you know what? You do look great in a red Pittsburgh Sportsline.
I think so, but in my neighborhood smoking gym, I'm unable to wear red, so as soon as I leave the show, I have to change my clothes and switch over to blue. No pun intended.
I don't understand this type of stuff. That's why I'm glad I'm wearing a nice white polo shirt here today.
It is. I wish more people would order it.
We're supposed to talk sports.
I wish more people would order the Pittsburgh Sportsline gear.
Well, it's more than that Baker's dozen, and you got to add like 7 more to it, and you can have one yourself.
Well, let's not let Smoking Jim Frazier off the hook, because you haven't made a purchase yet, my friend, either.
He doesn't wear knit hats.
I'll make you a hat like that, and you'll actually be able to read it.
As soon as you guys start advertising on BET, I'll watch it.
BET. You don't watch BET either.
Well, we're going way off the reservation. Anybody that's here, I apologize for all this nonsense.
Look how late it is, folks.
I know it's past your bedtime, too. You're delirious.
It certainly is.
Just warming up.
We know that. The KO folks know that, too. They said you can't put a cork in that guy once you get him going. But for some reason, he wouldn't go to his high school reunion.
They had a head of mine on a stick. Chucky Sirakas. They have pictures of it. They shamed me into it. The next day I did show up at the Royal Place, one of my favorite venues for boxing and KO nonsense. Saw people I haven't seen in 30 plus years.
That's good.
So
That's
thanks
good.
for PRing that.
So Smoking Jim Frazier, who do you have in the tournament? You do know that there's 64 teams in it, right?
I got Kentucky and Arizona. That's my two picks.
Okay.
Kentucky
Well,
to
only
win it
one
all.
can win.
Kentucky to win it all.
You have Kentucky to win it all.
Kentucky to win it all. They
You got cats on
won
cats.
it all last year. Should have won it all last year.
All right, what's your pick there?
I'm going with the Wildcats myself because I think
love
there's a
the
date with
Wildcats.
destiny. I think there's a date with destiny here. I think the team's too loaded, and John Calipari, a product of Western Pennsylvania, another great coach, and Smoking Jim, who may or may not do things the right way, but hey, you're gonna, he got that title vacated with Memphis and went to Kentucky and hasn't looked back since. So
Good reason.
with good reason, it's right. But I do have to take you to switch gears. I do have to take you to task to one thing, and I know you can chime in on this, Smoking Jim. I do not think the Pittsburgh Penguins are a solid enough team from top to bottom to make a deep run into the playoffs. As we alluded to on Tuesday Night Show, I don't want to talk on about Tuesday Night Show because nobody may or may not have watched it. They don't even know about it. They don't even know about it. It doesn't even exist. But I just think, Levine, that they're soft on the third and fourth line. They can't even score any goals. So everybody wants to pick on Marc-Andre Fleury and call him. Where are they calling him now? They haven't scored a goal, Smoking Jim, in like 3 games. There's another power shortage once again.
Exactly.
You know?
I didn't want that power shortage. But I'm hopeful that they drink the right Kool-Aid and they get a scoring touch. Because all they need to do is score 2 to 3 goals.
Well, don't you think that if they shot the puck more on net,
Yes.
you'd have a better opportunity to score on goals?
Zach, each time I watch the show, shoot the puck. Shoot the puck.
Smoking Jim, what do you
Shoot the
think
puck.
that? What do you think
Don't ask nobody.
the solution to the Penguins is?
They got the most talent. When they get in the playoffs, cream rises to the top. Maybe they can do it.
Maybe they can do it. So you feel confident if they play the Capitals to open it up?
I'm confident.
Do you know any players that play for the Capitals, Smoking Jim?
A couple.
Don't ask me specifics. Hey, I want to thank everybody. We're going to have to end this show. I mean, we're having too much fun, and I won't shut up. I'm just warming up. Zach's tired. He's had a long day.
Sure has.
No doubt. He cut an 80-foot tree down.
Sure
We don't
did.
want to go into that, but thank you for watching our show.
My
Thanks
bare
to
hands.
everybody for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. This is such a great venue. We hope to come back to the Village Tavern and Trattoria, Smoking Jim Frazier, 424 South Main Street, 15220. Come back again. The food was delicious. I heard everybody raving about it. I know I had
It
some
was delicious.
food here. You
Fantastic. Devin Shea.
You have a good meal.
The hamburgers was great. I can't wait to get the pizza the next time.
Pizza's even better. Rick Steigerwald shared one with me because he goes, "Can you put me on first for food?" He won.
And Jessica Lee was awesome as usual.
And I want to thank Jessica Lee for the jazz and sports combination. Hopefully we'll get another one, and you may get another story if we have another jazz and sports from Roy Ruzicka, the guitar playing man who got a story on March Madness. Wait till he comes up with baseball stories. Thanks for watching our show. Drive home safely. See you next week. We'll be at Duke's Rib House and Grill on Monday night.
BPTV. Come volunteer. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be here.
BPTV. Come on in. Make a show.
it's still fun after all these years.